Well, so far so good. I hope all these cases go that easy. Let's take a look at the next case of the torched insurance policy.
Okay, this is your case, Mr. Zukowski. Go ahead, tell me your case.
Yeah, I have a 2002 Ford F2 350. I came in and got insurance from Mrs. Hunt from her company. Then I came in with Pontiac, Montana the same day, 2000 Pontiac, Montana. We purchased in Hamtramck, my mother and I. She paid $4,000. I paid $500 in a money order. The title was in my name. I had to drive it out to her. I stopped and got insurance for her through Mrs. Hunt, so we had plates and everything else to put on the vehicle so I could drive it up north for my mother. When she gave me the policies, I signed them, obviously, gave her the deposits on them. I had full coverage on the vehicles. They're claiming now that since the vehicle was entitled in my mother's name, she couldn't have insurance. But, you know, as far as we're going, my home is in my mother's name and my name. Her home is in my...
Say this again to you. You bought...
Which
vehicle are we talking about? The vehicle was... what type of vehicle?
Okay, one was a Ford F350 was in my name in my vehicle, and I could have it insured. Then I came in with Pontiac, Montana, 2000 Pontiac, Montana we purchased. And I came with a Montana. I got insurance in my mother's name because it was her vehicle.
Your name is on the title.
My name's on the title. And I guess Miss Hunt faxed her over something to sign it to, you know, have insurance on it.
Okay, right.
And came back. We got full coverage insurance. A few months later, 6 months later, I think, they were torched in my driveway. Two vehicles were torched in my driveway.
Torched in your driveway? What do you mean torched in your driveway?
Somebody torched them at 4 o'clock in the morning, at 3
Both
o'clock.
vehicles?
Yeah.
The outside, not in your garage, I take.
No, in the driveway.
In the driveway?
Yeah, so they're both total
Why does
loss.
somebody not like you? What happened here?
I don't know, Your Honor. That's kind of hopefully we're going to come to the bottom line, who did it, what happened there. But nevertheless.
Filed police reports?
Yeah, police reports filed. It's still under investigation and stuff like that. But nevertheless.
No charges have been filed?
I'm sorry?
No charges have been filed?
No,
correct?
no,
This
unfortunately.
happened when?
Exactly the date of the fire, good question. It's like a year later, 6 months or 8 months later. I don't have the exact date of the fire.
Well, about how long ago?
Oh, it was about 6 months ago, six
All right.
months ago now.
So end of last year sometime?
Yeah, we went back and forth with now. The truck was insured through another company. Well, I assumed that it was through one company, but the truck was insured through another. She's an underwriter, so she insured it through another company. And then Miller's Mutual insured the Montana. I don't know why or what, but we paid the premium nevertheless. Nevertheless, we assumed we had insurance. She claims that she wanted to know whose title of name was. She never asked whose name the title was in. We just wanted insurance. So I never assumed there was anything wrong with having a vehicle in my name, my mother having insurance. She has a Ford Focus.
One vehicle is in your name, the other's in your mother's name.
No, they're both in my name.
They're both in your name?
Yeah.
F-150 and the Montana?
Right, but the Montana's going to be transferred in the future in her name, you know, but the plates were good for a year. So she's figured, you know, we have insurance on it. She'll wait till the plate's going to be renewed. She'll put it in her name.
Okay.
And then she bought a Ford Focus. She didn't have any Ford credit, so I had Ford credit. I got a Ford Focus for her. The title was in my name and in Ford's name, and it was insured through her. You know, we assume that, you know, it doesn't matter as long as you have insurance. I mean, that's what I'm presuming on.
Okay.
Well, now, Michigan Miller says since the title was not in her name, they're not claiming it. But then they said you have a bill of sale. On the bill of sale, it states that, you know, she paid $4,000. Well, it doesn't state exactly. It says we paid $4,500 for the vehicle. $4,000 was paid in cash, which was obviously my mother's, and $500 was paid in a money order. So then my mother paid me $500 back, and it's her vehicle. And we did some cosmetic work. I did some cosmetic work for her on it, and it was her car. And obviously, it was over in my driveway that night when it happened, and we're out of a vehicle. And now she's claiming that we have no insurance.
Well, two of these vehicles were burned.
Both of them were torched.
And you filed claims against both of those
Right.
vehicles, correct? Not the Focus.
No, Focus
not
is a whole
part of
separate.
this.
Yeah, it's a whole separate issue.
Right. Okay. And the vehicles were at your house? Were they
Right,
got burned?
my driveway, correct.
You filed a claim?
Yes. Well, we filed a claim. I'm not sure, you know, exactly. Yeah, I filed the claims. Yeah, I filed the
And
claims.
you're saying that the insurance company is denying coverage because they say you don't have insurance?
Well, they said I don't have insurance. I said, well, I got a certificate here that says I have insurance. I have a policy. We have a policy that says we have insurance. It says we have insurance, and they're denying the claim because the title wasn't in my mother's name.
But that's why I'm confused. I asked you before, who owns the vehicles? I mean, you said you.
Well, I own them
Well,
Okay.
listen, let me tell you something.
Okay.
The person who owns the vehicle is the person that it's titled in. That's who owns
Right,
it.
right, right.
Okay, you have the Montana, right?
Right.
Whose name is on the title?
My name is on the title.
Your name is on the title of the Montana.
And the insurance was in her name.
And the insurance was in her name.
Right.
Okay, well, that's
Right.
I'm beginning to see what's going on over here. Okay, now, whose name is on the F-150?
F-350 was my name.
And the insurance was in your mother's name.
No, the insurance was in my name and also, because I got them
Okay.
both the same day.
So the F-150, your name is the insured, and you're on the title.
Right.
Are they denying coverage with respect to that?
No,
I didn't
no,
think so.
no.
So is the plaintiff suing for the value of what he paid for the insurance policy or for the value of the torched car? It's a little unclear here. Let's see what the defendant has to say.
I think I could see where this is going. Ms. Hunt, go ahead.
Hi.
Hi.
Mr. Zukowski came into my office on September 29th, and I insured his truck with affirmative.
The
The
F-150?
F-350, yes.
Okay.
He did not have prior insurance. I could not put him through Michigan Millers because you have to have prior coverage to have insurance to go with them. It's a standard market. He told me that if I did him good, then he would bring his mother's car and home to my office.
You put him through affirmative
I
insurance.
put him through affirmative.
All right, go ahead.
Okay. He came back in then on October 22nd to insure his mother's Montana and her home,
Okay.
at which point we give a multi-policy discount because the home and the auto are together.
Standard.
Standard.
I've got that. Everybody does. Or a lot of people do.
I had to have proof that the vehicle was insured before. I have the letter from State Farm showing that that Montana was sent in her name. Well, not the proof that was in her name, but that the record shows that she was the driver, she was the licensed driver, the policy was in Lucy's name. So I had no idea that the vehicle was in his name. I had no idea.
Okay.
Or I would not have done that. I should have then insured the Montana along with his truck, and he would have gotten a multi-policy discount, but he didn't tell me that way.
You thought the Montana was in Lucy's and
Yes,
Kowski's
and
name.
so she got the home and auto discount. Had I known the Montana was in his name, I would have given him the multi-policy discount with affirmative for his truck and the Montana.
Wasn't there an application or something that you
Yes.
fill out?
Yeah, it's right here,
Let me see that.
certainly. For which one?
The Montana.
Montana?
Because that's when the coverage is being denied on.
Yes, it's right here.
Well, Your Honor, if I could state something too.
Well, just one
I-
second here, ma'am, sir.
Okay.
Michigan Millers Mutual Insurance Company.
Mm-hmm.
Name of insured, Lucy Zitkowski.
Correct.
But it doesn't, does it ask on here, and this is a fairly lengthy application, who owns the vehicle?
No.
It does.
Where? Can you show me where, so I don't have to hunt through it?
Yes.
Question 5, let's see.
Who are you, sir?
Dan Papernick of Dwayne Gerlach and Associates, also the underwriting agent for Michigan Millers.
Can you show me where it says that, Mr. Pamper?
On the page 2,
Page
question
2.
number 1 questions ownership. Are there any other owners of the vehicle? Partway down, general information,
Page 2, you said?
page, well, I'm not sure the order of what you got here, I can bring up
Sure, come on
Go
up.
ahead.
within the second page.
I think you're showing me something different.
Not just, which did you have there? Oh, you don't have,
Missed a
you're
page.
missing page 2.
I'm
This is
sorry.
page 3 I have.
I'm sorry.
I need page 2, so now you're giving me page 2.
Yeah.
Okay, show me, well, this is where now?
First question.
On general information?
Yes. Are there any other owners of the vehicle?
Number 1, with the exception of any encumbrances, are any vehicles not solely owned by and registered to the applicant? And the applicant is Lucy Zitkowski, correct?
Correct.
Okay, well, that was, and the answer, it was checked here is no. The answer to the question is no. That's incorrectly answered then.
Correct. And so the company, there's a denial letter, rescinded coverage once the claim came in based on misrepresentation as far as,
Had this question been checked, yes,
then we would have questioned who's the other owner. And underwriting information for that owner and everything would have to come into play.
why, Mr. Zukowski, why did you do that? Well, I think I know why you did it.
Well, it's gonna be my- it was
You
gonna
didn't
be-
answer the question correctly here.
I didn't ever seen that question, Your Honor. I mean, there's, you want to give you forms to
Wait,
fill out.
hang
and-
on a second.
That's the State Farm policy previous that actually shows it was also done with that carrier
Right,
under her name also.
under her name, okay. Even though she didn't own the vehicle.
Correct.
Well, she had a photo, my Focus through State Farm, like I said, that was in my name because of her Ford credit, and they had no problem paying the premium. She had a deer she rolled over, and my house is in her name, her house is in my name. I mean, my mother we have houses in Hamtramck that we have in each other's names, and they're both in our names. I mean, I didn't see there's nothing that we were trying to hide or anything like that, trying to get any discounts or anything, but she was gonna transfer to Montana in her name. We got it. Eventually, she's gonna put it in her name when the plate's expired, and, the
That
title.
never happened, or at least it burned before
Well,
it happened.
yeah.
It seems the defendant is saying that the plaintiff didn't fill out the form the right way, and the person that signed the form wanting insurance really didn't own the car. That's probably enough to make this insurance policy totally void. But let's see what the judge says.
What you have to understand is you can't play fast and loose with these questions of ownership. It matters. As I said before, the person who owns the vehicle is the person whose name appears on the title,
Well, she was
not the person who drives it,
Right.
okay? The problem here is that your mother never owned this Montana.
Well, I haven't, the thing that Lucy gave her paid $4,000 for the vehicle. I paid $500 for it
Okay.
till she reimbursed me.
So
actually,
what?
it is her vehicle
No, it's not her vehicle.
till the vehicle's transferred.
Wrong. I don't know how to tell you. It is your vehicle. You know why it's your vehicle? You want to know why it's your vehicle? Tell me why.
Go ahead, you tell me.
Because, I thought I made it clear, because your name is on the title. That makes it yours. Do you think, before the fire happened, do you think your mother could sell the vehicle?
Yeah, she could have sold it.
No, she couldn't.
Well,
She would, how could she sign the back of the title when her name's not on it? Nobody would buy it. It wouldn't be a valid transfer. She can't sign the back of her title, transferring that title to somebody else when her name doesn't appear on it.
but see, she never asked me whose name the title was in.
Yes, she did. They did. Right here in this application, where it says, with the exception of any encumbrances or any vehicles not solely owned by and registered to the applicant. That's where she asked you. You said no. The answer should have been yes, because your name was on that title. Your mother's the applicant. And the question is, again, with the exception of any encumbrances, are any vehicles not solely owned by and registered to the applicant? In other words, your mother. Yes, you. So the answer to the question has to be
So how
yes.
do they go about
It
collecting
matters.
insurance premiums and everything else?
What?
They go by collecting insurance premiums, everything else, and they don't ask.
They don't
who's-
know.
Well, don't
They
they
don't know that your name is on that title.
Well, it was in the process of being transferred, but shouldn't they ask? I mean, whose name it?
No, they did ask. They did ask. With this question number here, they asked. And what you basically said, not basically, what you did say by checking no here is that your name's not on that title.
I don't even remember filling those forms out, Your Honor. I mean, I think
Somebody did.
she went down the line, asked me to sign them at the end, and actually assuming that, when she assumed, I assumed, and everything was fine there for a while.
Well, that's, I don't know.
She asked me to
this
sign the
is-
forms at the end, and at the end, we sign them and give her her money, and I'm insured, right?
I don't know what more I can say.
So I get nothing at all out of this.
That's right. That's right. Let's look at this denial letter here just to see if there's anything here that's worthwhile going into. This is dated December 11th last year, sent to your mother, because she filed the claim, right?
Right.
Yeah. You are hereby notified that the above referenced coverage is rescinded based upon material misrepresentation on your application dated October 26, 2009. Yes. On October 26, 2009, you made application to this company for automobile insurance to the 2000 Pontiac, Montana through Duane S. Gerlach & Associates Incorporated of Mount Clemens, Michigan. Here it is. On that application was a question asking, with the exception of any encumbrances or any vehicles not solely owned by and registered to the applicant, you answered this question no and signed the application. Your certificate of title from the state of Michigan indicates that the sole owner is Peter Zitkowski. Because of these facts, your application would not have been accepted if there had been full disclosure at the time of that application. And then the rest of the stuff really doesn't matter. There it is.
Well, you understand how fast and loose when they fill out the forms, she fills them out, has you sign them at the end, she assumed, I assumed, and then I get screwed at the end with
What
no
happens when
insurance.
you assume?
Well, like I said, she filled out the forms, had me sign them at the end, so.
I don't know what to tell you, Mr. Zukowski, except that when you fill out these applications and they ask you who owns the vehicle, you gotta tell them who owns the vehicle, and the person who owns the vehicle is not the person who possesses it, or who drives it, or who has control over it. It's the person whose name appears on the title. That's the information they're looking for. And that wasn't done here. The case is dismissed.
The judge is right. This insurance policy was no good. Why? Because the person that signed it didn't fill out the application the right way. Bottom line, filling out an application, answer every single question, and every question means something. If it's wrong, you may lose. If you find that you are involved in a dispute that you can't resolve, small claims court may be the answer. Thanks for watching Case Closed. I'm Charlie Langton.